My people, welcome back to your favorite You and I talk show with Louise UWACU. Tonight, we're going to teach you. I am here with the top Vancouver internet marketer expert. So tonight, get ready for some great lessons. All right, my people, thank you for being here. Matt ASTIFAN.
Hello.
Hello, Matt.
I'm excited to be here.
Oh, you're looking so great. I mean, that's such a beautiful
I got dressed up just for you. I always see how great you dress, so I knew I had to get dressed up.
I saw it and I was like, wow.
Next time we should go matching. We'll both wear it.
Yeah, you know. You look so wonderful.
Awesome, thank you. You too.
And then you're the founder of Web Friendly.
Correct.
And also director of one of the biggest internet marketing mastermind group in Vancouver.
Correct. We're actually the largest internet marketing meetup in the world. And I'm talking about meetup.com here. So we have an internet marketing group, and we've got over 6,000 members now. We've been meeting every Monday night since 2009.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so impressive. And you have like marketed over 300 events.
Yeah, over 300 events here in Vancouver as well as in Toronto as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how did you get started?
Well, originally I was actually in film as well, and I was a props guy in the movies. And then if anyone was in the film industry before, you might remember that a few years ago there was a writer's strike. This is about maybe, I don't know, it was like 8 years ago now. And at that time there was no work, and I was kind of struggling. I didn't know what to do with my life. But the real estate market was booming, so my friends were all becoming realtors. And they convinced me to take a course with them, and I became a real estate agent. I spent a year in real estate. And I was horrible. I call myself the failed realtor because by the end of that year, I had over $30,000 in debt, and I was literally counting change in my piggy bank in order to even have enough money to eat. And I went to my managing broker nearing the end of the year. It was nearing around Halloween. I remember I didn't have enough money to go party with my friends on Halloween. And I went to him and I said, I'm broke. I've got no marketing skills. I've got no sales skills. Like, I'm a crappy realtor. What should I do? And he's like, you're young, why don't you go try to figure out this internet marketing stuff? So it just so happened that a week prior to that, I met a guy, and he was telling me about SEO, which is search engine optimization, the process of ranking websites on Google. He told me about it, and my first question was like, is that even legal? Like, I thought we were talking about like some hacker stuff here, I had no idea. So I went back to him and I said, hey, my managing broker just told me that I should learn about internet marketing and that could help me. Can you teach me? So he decided to take me on as his apprentice, and he gave me a phone book, the Yellow Pages, and he said, call the guys or call the companies with the biggest ads and see if we could sell them a new website or SEO services. And he said, I'll give you 100% of your first sale. Because I was so broke, I had no money. So I picked up the phone and I just called all day, and I called for a few days. By the time
So you picked up a phone book?
I was a Yellow Pages phone book, and I cold called companies, and I ended up setting up a meeting with him and a moving company. And we went and met them the next week. We closed that sale. It was for $3,000. He gave me $3,000, and I was like, I love internet marketing. I was like, right, because that was within a week or so that I made that money. So then, from there, I continued to work with him for 2 years. After 2 years, I started my company, Web Friendly. So now we're at 2009.
Wow.
And then since there, just doing a lot of stuff since then.
Yeah. So Web Friendly, I've checked it out. It's so interesting, and this is what I thought, that you had so much value to offer to your audience, our audience. Yeah. What exactly are you teaching people through Web Friendly?
So the main thing that people kind of know me for is my social media skills. I've been doing social media for quite a long time. So I help people become social media experts and start helping other businesses with social media. So there's hundreds of thousands of businesses across North America that are looking for help from a freelance social media expert. Big companies, they'll go out and they'll hire someone to go and do social media for them, and those jobs can pay anywhere from $30,000 to $70,000 a year. And there's huge demand for that. If you were to do a search on any of the large, job search websites, you'll see that there's over 100,000 postings of people trying to hire a social media expert. But the freelance market is really interesting because when you're a freelance social media director, many freelance social media directors are able to make over $100,000 a year just helping small businesses. And what these small businesses are looking for is someone who can actually create results and create actual sales for them. So it's not just about updating their Facebook page or updating their Twitter page and posting photos on Instagram. It's about having an actual strategy that will get them leads, and those leads will turn into sales for them.
I was wondering, what is the point of social media? Does actually social media translate into money?
Absolutely. I mean, there's 3 stages to social media. That's grow an audience, engage an audience, and then convert an audience. Mm-hmm. And I think most people and most businesses, we understand what the value is. Yeah, grow, engage, convert.
Engage
right?
and convert. Oh, that's nice.
So most people know, what the value is of having an audience, right? You have an audience, I have an audience, right? Most businesses, they want an audience. That way, when they want to put a message out, they can spread that message. And that's what's really going to take the viral effect of social media. You need an audience in order to utilize the viral effect of social media. That means that you tell all your people, they start telling people, they start telling people, and it creates that ripple effect. The second stage is the engagement, where you actually have to put out content that's actually going to engage people and get people to actually create conversations with you, right? We were talking earlier about how you would love to be doing this show in front of a live audience, right?
Yes.
And if we have a live audience here, we have people asking questions, and they can be fully engaged in this as we're doing the full interview, right? So that you basically want to emulate what we do in the real world. You can emulate online. I often joke that we're trying to create the Matrix. Right? So we're trying to emulate what we do in the real world. How do we emulate that online? So as an example, instead of having people physically here inside of the studio, we could be broadcasting the show live through Facebook Live. And then people could virtually be watching live and asking us questions live. So we've now emulated the real world online, right? And that's how you really create engagement. And I could share more examples with you maybe later on about that.
We'll do that. And then we may take questions from the
we
little
can do that.
audience.
We can do that as well.
Okay, let's take a short break and then we'll keep talking about it.
All right, sounds good.
All right, my people. You and I talk show with Louise UWACU. We love you, the authors, the musicians, the comedians, the entrepreneurs, and all other talented and inspiring people. Please contact info@uwacu.com to be a guest on the show. All right, my people, we're back and we're still talking social media. So we're up to now the convert stage?
Correct.
Yes.
So now the conversion stage, so we've grown our audience, we've engaged with our audience, so we've really built some trust with them. People kind of know us, they feel like they know us. One great thing about social media is getting on video. When you see people online and you've seen them using video, kind of like what we're doing right now, right, you notice that you feel like you know them.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of online celebrities, right? Even if you think about, I watched a show like Dragon's Den or Shark Tank, right? You watch those people on TV, and then when you meet them in the real world, you feel like you know their personality, you feel like you know them, versus knowing of a celebrity or of a business person, but never actually seeing them on video. It's very different, right? So that kind of builds that trust and that bond through social media. Again, we're emulating the real world. We're emulating actually meeting people in person, but we're emulating this through video online. So it's really important to get those first stages first in order to get really high conversions online or through social media. And that's when we get to the conversion stage.
I see. So do you have a favorite platform, or which social media are you talking about?
Yeah, so social media could be any of the social media sites that basically allow people to have a conversation with you, right? And depending on your audience can be on different places, right? So, and also kind of how we find those audiences. So Twitter has been really good with TV shows, right? So oftentimes you watch TV shows and you notice that they have a little thing that will pop up on the screen that shares a hashtag for the show. So people can have a conversation about the show using a hashtag on Twitter, and we can follow that conversation live as it's happening. Twitter is very popular for being a in-the-moment, real-time social network because most of everything that's said on Twitter, it's public, right? Unless some people can selectively make their profile private, which most don't, Twitter is a very public platform. Facebook, on the other hand, is a place where you'll grow your audience initially. Then when you do make a status update, a lot of people will see it and they're already pre-engaged with you, right? So it's a great place to kind of collect your community and kind of keep them within your realm, right? Whereas Twitter, it's very open. Once you give somebody the hashtag, people can start talking about it, right?
So how does that eventually translate into money?
So what I do, there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you want to try to collect as many email addresses as possible, okay? And so that's when you get into the realm of like email marketing, right? Which works for some businesses, maybe doesn't work for others, right? That's, you know, and some businesses tell me that email marketing doesn't work for them. I can make email marketing work for any business.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you get into email marketing and you can email people and send them a message, you can start creating a dialogue through email. Then people can respond to you just by hitting reply. Now you've created a one-on-one dialogue, which could translate into a sale.
Yeah.
Right? So that's one aspect. The other big part of what we do is a lot of advertising.
Nice.
Right? So that's when we get into Facebook ads, Twitter ads, Instagram ads, and we're actually advertising an actual message that we're asking people to actually purchase or buy something. Right?
So this is interesting. So let's take this show, for example,
Yeah.
and you criticize it and say what we should be doing on social media or what we could do to accomplish, you know, the success that we need on social media.
You want me to criticize it right now? Oh, okay. Okay, so first of all, what's your goal? What do you want to accomplish from the show?
Well, we want to inspire people. We want the audience to get out of the show feeling inspired, educated, informed, having a great time, you know.
Gotcha.
And then
what
grow
kind of
from
call
that.
to action would you like people to do? Would you like them to follow a movement? Would you like them, like, what do you want people to do? We need like
at the end of
action.
this show, it depends on the guest. Like at the end of your episode, for example, we want people to go, if they're interested in social media, we want them to come to you and participate in your program. You know, it depends on the guest. Like sometimes if we have a writer, then we want people to buy their book, or we want people to go and see that film, you know?
Gotcha. So we'd want to have some sort of maybe like a special offer that we'd give. I would recommend doing a free gift. So every person that comes to the show will prepare a free gift for your audience. So when people watch live, then they can then participate in getting that free gift. Where they have a book, they can do a free book, right? Maybe, you know, I have a video series, right? I can give away a free video series, right? That sort of thing. And that way, every one of your speakers could then, you know, collect all those people who are actually interested in what they're saying will go and get that free gift, right? And then from there, and this is not a huge surprise to most people, but from there, they might email you, follow up, and then you may decide to buy or not buy, right? And that's totally up to that person if it's the right fit or not, right? So that'd be one example of it. I could see you getting a lot more exposure from these videos online after they actually air on Shaw. So I noticed you have a YouTube channel. And one thing you could do with that YouTube channel is you could break up your videos, because every one of these videos is about 25 minutes long, right? So we could break up the video into segments. So basically how we go to commercial break, right? So every one of those segments, we talk about one topic, and then you title that one video, whatever that topic was, along with that presenter's name. Right? And then every one of those segments is a single video that you optimize for a single keyword phrase, but at the same time, you're also optimizing for the speaker's name. So over the next few years, actually, as a matter of fact, if you were to Google my name right now, you'll notice there's a segment that I was on Global TV, which actually ranks on my name right now. And thousands of people search my name every month. Right? So if you were to do a very similar thing where you're ranking on the name of all the people that you bring on the show, as well as on these keyword phrases that people have interest in, right? Now you're driving a lot more traffic to your YouTube channel. And on every one of those episodes, you want to tell people to subscribe. So once you upload the next video, everyone's going to see that, right? The other side, which would be excellent, is if we can actually broadcast this show live on Facebook or through YouTube, right? So while it airs or shortly after it airs, you know, we can have an actual broadcast that goes out on YouTube or Facebook for the show itself. Again, that real-time nature is what creates a lot of engagement online. That's why Twitter became so popular so fast.
Okay, we'll apply your advice today and do a little segment as live, you know, after the show. Let's take a short break and keep talking. You and I talk show with Louise UWACU. We love you, the authors, the musicians, the comedians, the entrepreneurs, and all other talented and inspiring people. Please contact info@uwacu.com to be a guest on the show. All right, my people, we're back and we're talking social media. So you talk about also the idea of living a laptop lifestyle. This is something that I caught from you, and I was like, well, tell me about the laptop, you know.
A lot of people have this dream that they want to be able to, travel the world and work on their laptop. And, I did it for a number of years. I went to Australia and just brought my laptop with me. I was there for a cousin's wedding. And, I basically just went to coffee shops and worked off of my laptop. And by the end of the month, I made a good sizable amount of income just from working off of my laptop, right? And then I went to Thailand. I spent 5 weeks in Thailand. I didn't work that much, I'll be honest, in Thailand. I spent about maybe 5 or 6 hours within 5 weeks working, but you still have the opportunity of being able to travel, and all you do is bring your laptop, and you need an internet connection. Now, I've learned a few things from doing this. One is that Australia has very slow internet. Most of the areas in Australia have dial-up. Coffee shops in Australia don't have Wi-Fi. It's not common to find Wi-Fi. In my 5 weeks in Australia, I found 2 coffee shops the entire time that had Wi-Fi.
Whoa.
What was really funny was that all of the beaches have Wi-Fi.
Oh.
and working on the beach is not actually all it's cut out to be, because sand gets into your keyboard and the sun glares your screen and it gets hot. So you can't actually work from the beach, but you can work somewhere close to the beach, work for a little while, put your laptop away, go surfing, and do whatever you want. So I've helped a lot of people actually create that lifestyle for themselves, where you can travel the world and you just make money from anywhere as long as you got an internet connection. So I have a global business. I have people from all over the world that I work with, and I bring in customers.
So are you a multi-millionaire right now?
I'm not a multi-millionaire, no, but I do.
But
very
you're
well.
Not broke anymore.
Definitely not broke. No. So I make pretty good money, and I've looked at, in my business model, if I were to do over $1 million and what that would look like, and it doesn't match the lifestyle business that I want, right? So I know that 100%, if I were to work a regular 8 or 10-hour day, 5 days a week, work on the weekends once in a while, I'm sure that I could build a $1 million business. In fact, I'm confident that I could. I typically work a 5-hour day, right? And I don't work on the weekends. I take a 5-week vacation every year. I take Christmas off to spend time with the family. So I've designed my business around a lifestyle, and so it's not just about getting rich and making money, it's about having time to do the stuff that you really love to do.
Wow, so your lifestyle is actually more important. You look at the lifestyle, I guess this is why you came up with the whole thing, because it allows you to have the lifestyle that you want. Absolutely.
When I first got started, I saw big internet marketing agencies, and I wished I could have worked for them. I applied to work with them. Nobody hired me. I had I didn't go to school for this, right? And so, I thought I wanted an agency. I thought I wanted 20 employees. I thought I wanted to make $20 million a year. That's what I heard that they were making. And as soon as I started building that a few years back, it became very stressful. I became so stressed. I remember I used to get stomach ulcers. I used to have stomach aches for no reason. You know? I was so stressed out, I thought my hair was going to fall out, And I quickly realized that that wasn't what I needed, and that I don't need $20 million a year. And I think about what I want now in my life, what I want to buy or what I want to achieve, and it doesn't require that much money, right? So basically anything I want, I have, right? I'm not looking to have my own jet. I'm not looking to have a helicopter, whatever,
It's good to know what you want. That way you're not chasing other people's dreams because you know what you want.
Exactly. When I first got started, I thought I wanted, the $20 million kind of lifestyle thing, and then I realized, I don't really need that stuff, and I don't want to be just chasing material things. I'd rather go for the experiences and go traveling, and I just had a baby, spend more time with my son, and spend time with the family, and be able to do sports and go to the gym. I took on surfing, I went skydiving, taking the time to do stuff that really creates real experiences, right?
So I guess this is how you came up with the idea of being a teacher, because the teachers, they don't really want to make too much money, but they still want to give that knowledge out.
It was actually my reason for starting to teach social media was because it kept me on top of my game. When I teach a program, I have to teach the latest strategies in internet marketing. And when I was taking the time to just study this stuff and actually implement it in my own business, it was taking a long time to learn. So basically now I get paid to really spend the time to go travel to conferences. I buy other people's programs and learn from them. I spend thousands of dollars every year on education, and I can justify it because I'm staying on top of my game. I take all those strategies, I put them into a very simple formula, and then I teach them to other people so they can achieve very similar results that I've had. Right?
Wow.
And so that was my real motivation for starting and continuing to do it. It just keeps me on top of my game, and that's how I became the top internet marketer here.
But it does seem like you're so busy, though. I mean, you say you only work 5 hours a day, but it seems unbelievable.
It's just the appearance of how what I'm sharing online. I make the appearance that I'm always working, but I always make the joke that I've watched like every single like big TV show. I've watched hundreds of hours of TV over the last couple of years. Just watching Lost alone. If you go to Netflix, it's like 120 hours to watch Lost.
Yeah.
I watched right now. I'm trying to conquer all 37 seasons of Survivor. I've watched 7 seasons in the last 3 months. So I spend a lot of time at home with my family. We watch TV. And I obviously doing the traveling. So I actually don't work as much as people think.
I see. So you don't have an office?
I have a co-working space that I work in. I used to just work at home, but I just had a baby again, so now I can't really work at home.
Maybe he's taking all the space.
Yeah. So I got into a co-working space called Spacecraft in Burnaby, and I work out of there now, and it's great. And it's been really great for productivity.
Wow. And you're still working on your laptop? You still don't have a desktop?
No, I don't have a desktop. I have a Mac computer, and I carry that with me. I have it with me now, and after we finish this interview, I'm going to hit up a coffee shop, do a little bit of work, and then take the weekend off. Right?
Oh, yeah. Wow, that is so amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, so I think we're going to take our last break and then come back and maybe take a question from the audience, do the live thing.
Okay, sounds good.
You and I talk show with Louise UWACU. We love you, the authors, the musicians, the comedians, the entrepreneurs, and all other talented and inspiring people. Please contact info@uwacu.com to be a guest on the show. All right, my people, welcome back. So right now we're going to do a live segment for our live audience on the internet. It's coming on, All right, so let's take a question from the audience. What is the toughest thing for people who want to start in this business? What is really the toughest thing? What can you tell people about starting and getting started?
So the secret to having success online as a freelancer or as an entrepreneur really comes down to focus. And I believe that if you have focus, it eliminates failure, right? If you're able to stay focused on what it is that you want to achieve, you won't fail. But the challenge is distraction. Distraction kills focus. So if you get distracted and you have shiny object syndrome, or even as much as just letting your phone ring and answering your phone. I never answer my phone, right? Because it distracts me. So as long as you have focus, you will be successful. It's impossible to fail as long as you focus. So what you want to do is whenever you're trying to work on your own business, and if you're an entrepreneur now, you want to look at what is distracting you, right? So for example, I just had a baby. So now I noticed that as soon as I had a baby, if I was at home, baby started crying, I was immediately like, I got to help him, right? I got to go and pick him up. And his mom is around as well. So she was also helping, but it was constantly distracting. It would take you out of focus. And they say that when you get out of focus, it takes you about 20 minutes to get back into focus. Ooh. So you always want to stay in focus. And typically you want to stay in focus for about 2 hours at a time. And then take a 10-minute break and then go back into focus.
But social media is distracting. Even being on Facebook itself, it's distracting.
It is, yeah.
How do you stay focused when you're on social media, when that's what you're doing? Not get distracted by everybody else's posts.
You got it. So what you can do is in your settings on Facebook and most of all the social media platforms, you can actually adjust the notification sounds. So I don't have any sound. That sound, by the way, is actually a dopamine effect, right? So Facebook put it there on purpose. So every time you hear that sound, you're like, someone's engaging me. Someone cares about me, right? So it gets your attention every time. So you
want to respond to it.
Yeah, you turn off that sound. I also make my phone go on silent. So when I flip the switch on my iPhone to silent, it doesn't even vibrate. I put it face down, I don't look at it.
Nice.
And I do my work. The same thing with emails. My emails don't make a sound. I am a productivity junkie.
So what is the future of social media? Is this here to stay? Because you see some platforms, they come on and then they disappear. Like High Five is gone, MySpace is gone.
Yeah.
So how do we know which platform to be on and which one is going to be here for a long time?
The platforms that take advantage of live events, of the real-time nature of what's happening in the world, the platforms that emulate the real world the most, those are the ones that are going to stick around.
Which one are your top platforms?
So right now, Twitter that's always been their unique thing. Twitter is that it was real time. You can go into a Twitter search and you could see what people are talking about right now about your show, right? I could look up and say, what are people saying right now about the word cholesterol? And I use that example because I actually did this for a client before, where we're trying to see how do people relate to the word cholesterol? What do they relate to the word cholesterol? And we found out, just by reading on Twitter, we were able to discover that people were relating cholesterol to not being able to eat the foods that they wish they could eat, right? So it's kind of interesting that you can actually read into the minds of people by just doing a search for a keyword on Twitter. And it's happening right now, right? So Twitter's very real time. Instagram, also very real time. And Instagram right now, it's very mobile. It's got people's attention. People walk around looking down, right? So Instagram right now and Snapchat are both very real time social networks. And I believe that as they add more and more features, they're going to be real time features. Now, Facebook, we already know, has Facebook Live, right? And yeah, with Facebook Live, right? That is definitely taking advantage of the real-time nature, and that's why someone goes live, you get a notification, and everyone's going to start tuning in and seeing that, right? I do webinars, so I do like live presentations, but they're happening online, right? So anytime, and there's also YouTube Live as well, right? So any social network that takes advantage of real-time nature of social media. So one network that I haven't seen do it yet is LinkedIn. Although LinkedIn is very powerful, I believe that if they want to stick around for the next 5 or 10 years, they're going to have to do something that relates to having that real-time nature. We're going to see over the next couple of years if they do it as much as the other networks have.
Nice. So you personally, do you still have like big dreams that you want to accomplish? How is your future looking like? What would you wish for to happen?
Well, I value freedom and the freedom to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want. And so, the more income that I can make and spend the least amount of time working. So right now what I'm doing is I'm automating a lot of my business. A lot of my business processes get automated. And so that's really kind of what I'm kind of growing towards. I'm looking to go to the Caribbean for a little while, spend some time in there, do a bit more traveling. I just had a baby and he's not even 1 year old yet. So once he gets a bit older, I can take him. We can go backpacking and traveling again, that sort of thing. So it's really about experiences. And I originally studied film, and I have this long-term goal of I want to finally produce a TV show idea that I've had since I was 16 years old. I won't say what it is right now, but that's my long-term, in 20 years maybe.
Throw it out there, you never know.
Yeah, one day maybe we'll see if I actually do that. But I was thinking one day that I was I had a vision board that I made a few years ago, and I looked at it, this is a couple months ago now, and I looked at it, and I had accomplished everything on my vision board, and
you need a new vision board.
Yeah, and I was telling my friends, I said, I accomplished all this stuff that I thought was going to take me 10 years, and then I said, I need a new big goal, and then I said, I'm going to make a movie. One day I'm going to make a movie. I'm going to make my TV show, and all my friends are just laughing at me because I'm just I have this audacious goal, but so maybe one day we'll actually make it happen.
Matt, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's so short, but we're going to keep talking. And my people, check him out. And then we hope that he can answer so many of your questions. And he's still here, so we'll bring him back eventually when you have more questions.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening, my people.